Proof of stake is a new way to play the blockchain game. It's basically a change in the algorithm. The typical algorithm is proof of work. We have to run through and find 256 bits, ones and zeros, that is essentially going to give you the password to verify that a transaction is accurate on the blockchain. Now, what this is essentially the proof of stake, is essentially the more tokens that you have, the higher the likelihood that the blockchain is going to pick you to be the next person to validate that transaction. So you don't need a supercomputer that can run through 1 trillion transactions. You just need to be the next person in line that's picked. So now, instead of being able to only have, like Bitcoin, 500 transactions recorded on one of those ledgers, and only having one of those done every 10 minutes, now you can bump that number up to, same thing as like Visa, like 10, 20,000 transactions verified a second, if not faster, depending on how you set up the other rules in the game and how big each block in the blockchain can be. For example, Bitcoin is usually around 1 MB per block. So if you increase the size of that, now all of a sudden you can have 10,000 transactions validated on one block. And if you can have that validated with one code based on the person that's staking the most next, now you're able to do things a lot quicker. In order to make sure that one person doesn't end up always being the person that's going to validate these transactions, they will sometimes pick somebody that has the lowest mining rate, the lowest hash rate, combined with the highest stake. So the person that put in has the slowest computer, but they put in the most amount of money. And then the other way that they'll do it is through the the coin age selection. Yeah, so the coin age selection is where they're going to pick you based on how many coins you've had plus how long you've held them, and after you're the next person to validate the transaction, then that number resets back down to 0. And that's pretty much it for the most part. Obviously it can get a lot more complicated, but I think that's a pretty good, overview of it. I just want to get some of these concepts out as simply and easily as possible under 4 or 5 minutes. Let me know if you have a better explanation of it down in the comments. Let me know what you want to see next time, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.